Sir, class, I'm Cadet Benson, and today I will be briefing you on Operation Bobcat Lightning. First, with a friendly unit task organization. We are 1st Squad, 1st Platoon, Charlie Company, 1-5 Infantry, with a task to attack to destroy Objective Phantom, with the purpose of denying enemy influence on the B and direct objective. We're split up into two teams, the 1st Alpha Team and Bravo Team. Alpha Team will be the main effort, with a task to attack and destroy enemy mortar team on Objective Phantom, with the purpose of denying enemy influence on the BNDO. Key weapon systems, M249, M203. Next, Bravo Team. This will be the secondary element, the task to secure Objective Phantom for the purpose of securing key terrain. Key weapon systems, same, M249, M203. Attached to us is a weapons team. This will be Alpha Weapons Team with the task of support by fire on Objective Phantom for the purpose of enabling friendly maneuver on Objective Phantom. Key weapon systems is the M240. Moving on. Directing you to our map. So, quick orientation. Our north direction will be directly upward, meaning that our south will be downward, our east will be to the right, and our west will be to the left. To box us in, our north limit is going to be the 37th northing. Our southern limit will be the 31st northing. Our eastern limit will be the 17th easting, and our western limit will be the 10th easting. To trace, in the north, we have the Shinmain-shan mountain range. To the south, we have the Che-shan mountain range. And to the east, we have the coastal mountains. And to our west, we have the Benyang River. Now, to familiarize with the objectives. We are located at a patrol base just north of our objective that we are attempting to seize, which is Objective Phantom, located here. Our patrol base is here. The enemy is located on Objective Ghost. This is Phase Line Alaska, Phase Line Arctic, and Route Camaro, which will be our primary route for motorized units. Also note the bridge here and an intersection on Objective Phantom. We also have some areas of interest that are not shown on the map, such as fixed rotary possessed by the enemy. This consists of 1 Platoon ZK-10, which location is at Taitung Air Base, which the trigger is going to just be any ID of U.S. troops or high enablers, which can be employed in 20 minutes. They also have artillery and mortars, such as a PL-66 152mm howitzer placed along multiple POOs in vicinity of Taitung, covering the entirety of AO Ronin. Trigger is ID of U.S. troops, and the time to attack is 10 minutes. Along with that, PP-87, only one of them. This is located at UF 11 97 31 84. They have a daily firing pattern during the periods of 03 to 08 hours and 15 to 19 hours on Objective Bobcat. Time to attack, 5 minutes. Reinforcements, they have one motorized platoon for reinforcements located at UF 0848 2547. Trigger for this is if they see any USF advances along the MRS. Time to deploy, 40 minutes. Lastly, they have one platoon HQ-16, and the trigger is again ID of US fixed access assets. Time to deploy, 10 minutes. They also have a PGZ-04A, which is triggered by the identification of US assets again. Time to deploy, 10 minutes. Moving on. GCAO, as you can see, decent amount of restricted terrain to the east and a little bit in the north. Luckily, we are above most of it, but there is a very sloped mountain range here, which is going to outline where we have mobility corridors. We can fit a squad size element here and a squad size element here, which is going to outline our avenues of approach 1 and 2. There's ID lines along both of these routes due to the high terrain, so you won't be able to see over them. Please note, key terrain here, as mentioned earlier, the bridge, and here, the intersection. The enemy also has the avenue of approach very close to avenue of approach 2, so be prepared to take contact if necessary. Also, heavy, dense civilian populations in both these areas. So, first up, we're going to talk about some existing man-made terrain features that are notable. First, we have the high-end coastal mountain range, and then we have the Benyang River. We also have reinforced protective and tactical obstacles, which limit the use of wire obstacles on Route Camaro. So, what does this mean? Both USF and enemy are going to be slowed and cannibalized, and engineers are critical to keep momentum along Route Camaro. Avenues of approach. The primary is, yet again, Route Camaro. And this is the decisive terrain. Controlling it ensures movement of freedom. The When losing it risks stalled advance. Friendlies must anticipate ambushes and secure alternate routes. We already went over the key terrain, and the deduction of this is whoever controls these nodes controls operational tempo. Friendlies must seize and deny them early to maintain freedom of movement rather. Next O, direct and indirect weapon systems. The observation is limited by mountains, forests, and urban clutter. Enemy recon squads and LP and OPs. Indirect systems cover AO Ronin, as discussed earlier. So, U.S. squads must prioritize concealed and counter recon to avoid triggering direct fires. Control of observation posts is decisive. Then we have the, again, high-end coastal mountain range and forests provide concealment, and villages and infrastructure provide cover for both sides. This means that U.S. forces must exploit concealment infiltration and plan for rapid displacement if compromised. Also see enemy concealment. Moving on to weather. The visibility is going to be generally reduced by 65 to 75% cloud cover and frequent precipitation. This means that there's a slight advantage to us, the friendly, since there's reduced visibility to help conceal our infiltration. Wind, negligible. Precipitation, frequent chance of rain, 70-75%, light to moderate. This gives a slight advantage to the enemy as it slows our infiltration and casevac more than it hampers defensive forces that are already in position. Cloud cover, 99% cloud cover. This favors us yet again for concealment reasons. The enemy UA is going to be rendered less effective. 10, humidity, not too bad, reaching a high of 88. But this will be favoring the enemy as we are infiltrating. Increased use of heat cat, get checks up on water, make sure everyone is hydrated. Moving on. We have our enemy composition. First at one level up, which is going to be the platoon. There are 40 total personnel. Their task is to occupy with the purpose of securing infrastructure and controlling the main local civilian populace. Split up into 4 squads and 1 attached mortar team. The key thing to note is they are all located and protecting Objective Phantom. The key weapon system that we are concerned with is the PP-87. 9 people in each squad, 4 in our objective. The most common weapon system amongst them, the QBZ-95, comparable to the M4. The most dangerous weapon system among them, the CSK-144, comparable to the Humvee with attached 50 cal. Moving on, one level down, we have the squad enemy composition, split up into 3 teams, yet again 1 mortar team with the task of controlling and a purpose of controlling and influencing the civilian populace. This is an enemy squad at above 90% strength with 13 personnel. Key weapon systems, QJZ-89 and the CSK-144 discussed earlier, and the I2-millimeter mortar. There is 1 of each of these weapon systems for direct and indirect fire with a total range of 6,000 kilometers, which is notable. U.S. equivalent, yet again, our mortars and the attached Humvee 50 cal. Our target for the HVTL is going to be the mortar. For the HVTL is going to be the organic weapon systems to the enemy. Next, we are talking about the capabilities of the enemy by WFF. Their intelligence is a weakness. They have no reliable information on U.S. troops, and therefore they have less information on when we will attack and where we are located. Their movement and maneuver is a strength, however, as they have air assault capabilities and mounted vehicle capabilities. This is the company analysis of the enemy situation. As you can see, this is the mortar team that we are attempting to destroy. We are located roughly around here. The suspected location of the enemy scout squad and the enemy platoon is located here, which has the purpose of occupying Objective Phantom. Fires. This is a strength of theirs. They have readily available IDF assets, i.e. the mortar team, long-range sniper rifles, and above 90% capabilities. Strength. They're going to be using all of their most casualty-producing weapon systems. Be aware. Protection. The enemies are in a transition period, so protection is minimal. This is a weakness. They're vulnerable to be attacked by a larger element. Sustainment. They are very properly supplied at the moment, which is a strength. However, notable, they're shooting 40 to 80 mortar rounds a day, which will force them to resupply. Finally, command and control. They're dispersed across the AO, so this is a weakness. We can be able to pick them on 1 by 1 rather than attack the whole unit at once. This is the platoon analysis of the enemy situation. Moving on to our enemy sit temp. So, this whole border here is the effective range of the mortar team. This is because the mortar team, like most of these weapon systems also, they're not just going to be facing one direction. This is all the directions possible that it can be facing. So this is the effective range of the mortar team. Note this is, we will always probably be within range, that's why it needs to be taken out. The most likely course of action based on this enemy sit temp The purpose of the enemy operation is to delay and disrupt U.S. forces moving along Route Camaro and deny uncontested use of key terrain. So their end state is to retain control of the objective Bobcat in terms of terrain, and the enemy to delay and attrit U.S. platoon elements. Purpose of their enablers, decisive operation. They will accomplish this by conducting the decisive operation. Decisive to their operation is the order team at UF 1197 3184 and the ability of motorized squads to canalize U.S. forces along Route Camaro. Finally, going over the friendly mission and intent. So our mission statement: Charger Company 15 Infantry disrupts enemy forces in the AO Ronin no later than 302200 August 24 in order to deny enemy influence on the BNDO. Our key tasks are to disrupt enemy operations in depth and deny enemy uncontested use of high-speed avenues of approach, retain maximum combat power, and avoid decisive engagements. We will reconsolidate 2nd Platoon and 3rd Platoon. The one level up intent is our mission statement: 1st Platoon, ME, Charger Company 105 Infantry disrupts enemy forces in AO Ronin no later than the date cited before. So again, here's our patrol base. Along this route, we are going to get the Phantom with a friendly squad. And then we have friendly squads pushing along to Objective Reaper, off of Axis Smash, Axis Fake, onto Objective Ghost, where the enemy is located, and we can expect heavy contact. So class, this concludes my brief.